The Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, the Challenge, War of the Worlds, Part 1 of the finale, Episode 15, recap, fantasy scoring. We got it all for you, and if you want to get into a draw for 20 DK bucks, like every single week, all you gotta do, smash the like button for the episode, leave your DraftKings handle in the comment section, and let me know who you think the head-to-head is going to be to see who gets eliminated in between Parts 1 and Parts 2. So both members of it. I mean, you don't have to be right to get into the draw, but being right can't hurt. Paul Shaughnessy is here. What's up?
Ninja's going home.
Ninja's getting voted in.
Yeah. Oh, true. There's going to be a
Yeah, she has to compete. I mean,
and then Natch,
you pick Cara Maria.
Yeah, because she didn't take the
fluids.
IV.
Although, if it's going to be a guy...
I have a theory about that, but we'll get to it.
Well,
let's save that.
If there's a guy versus guy or a girl versus guy elimination, obviously it's not going to be physical.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not going to be physical, you probably beat Hunter at whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. If it's a puzzle.
Yeah, if it's a puzzle, that's rough going for him.
You take Hunter because I think he timed out on every single one, basically.
Well, I mean...
Except for the one that was not really a puzzle where you just had to, push the ball up into the one that Turbo really struggled on.
I don't even know if he actually struggled with it or not, because it's not like he timed out.
No.
He actually got it.
But it seemed like he was struggling more than other things.
They also showed him doing that one far longer than they did anything. So let's set up. Let's go over the fantasy scoring for the episode. Wes was the high scorer of the week at 62 points. So good for my team. I actually have 1, 2, 3.
You do.
I have Wes at 62, Turbo at 52, and Theo at 44. He dominated the
classic Mayo looking at spoilers again.
I wish I would be in first place if I looked at spoilers, I think. Kara 39, Georgia 31, Ninja 29, Hunter 26, and Maddie 20 fantasy points. That's where we're at. We still have one more episode to go. There is no fantasy scoring for the final. So for the reunion, or probably the 8 parts of the reunion, because that's how reality TV works now with as much content as you can squeeze out of it, the better. I really enjoyed this episode, though. And normally, you and I are both in it for, the house drama. And this was just compelling.
There's just a lot of different things going on,
and it just looks super tough. This final... I guess the Dirty 30 final was pretty difficult too. It was long. There was a lot of stages to it. They were running through those salt flats in Chile.
Mm-hmm.
But the two following it on Final Reckoning and Vendettas were a fucking farce. And this one was pretty good.
And then what was the one that Kara won with her cousin?
Oh, Bloodlines.
That was the most egregious final ever.
At least
it didn't even seem difficult.
At least in that one, they had to
they had to power walk like an Olympic stadium.
Yeah, but they had to stay. They had to stay in a subway station overnight, staying awake. That would be tough. That's an element of it. That was the hardest part of it. The Vendettas one was here, run 2 laps and solve a puzzle. We're good to go.
Yeah, it looked super, super difficult. I guess we start with Georgia.
Yeah, so let's go in descending order of people who, in placement that they come. Georgia, we thought this was going to be a pure running final, and so far it has been a pure running final. If you're good at running, you're doing really well right now.
And she was doing really, really well up until she was dead.
Yeah, did she drink the night before or something? How is she so dehydrated compared to everybody else?
She had a camel pack on her back too.
Everyone did, but
I think she just overexerted herself. They're running out in the desert. It's dry, it's hot, and you just don't drink enough. I don't know. You got to think that they're not showing it on camera, but when they got to that center area, there's probably a ton of water there for them to rehydrate, because otherwise, the amount of danger that you would be causing people. People can literally die.
Well, it did seem like there was at least a car full of medics basically following everyone around, too, just to make sure if anything happened, we got you. When the producer picked up Ninja and brought her to the car. Mm-hmm. I was glad to see her get back in the game. She really wanted to stay in. Georgia was basically done. She was delusional when she was in the back.
And she was calling for Bear.
I don't know if that was real or not.
That may not have been.
I think that may have been an ADR drop in from earlier in the season.
Could be.
I don't know. It just seems strange.
Well, if you're that delirious,
I guess so.
I guess that's what was on her mind at the time. Bear, where's Bear?
So we ranked Georgia as the highest odds of any of the female competitors to compete in this final. And I don't think we were obviously wrong. She got eliminated within 20 seconds of it starting.
We didn't think it through properly.
I didn't think the heat would be so
These Brits.
devastating.
Brits can't handle the heat.
I know Theo's doing fine.
Don't make me say it, Pat.
He is an Olympic runner. He knows how to pace
Yes,
himself.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, Georgia, she's toast. Maddie, it's exactly what we thought was going to happen to her.
And
She tried to power through it. She
I
was just
almost
done.
like partially, if this wasn't pre-recorded, I like partially cursed it in our little group chat there. I was just like, Maddie's running a lot better than I anticipated. She was doing pretty good. She was, behind the leaders, but like nobody was gonna touch the leaders. And then all of a sudden, she was just toast.
done. So after that, who is in sixth place? So those two are out. So there's 6 remaining competitors.
So Hunter's last.
Hunter's in last, and he fucked himself. Like, he brought this all on himself. So what is the proper strategy when you do this? Because I thought the move would be, and Wes kind of had it down a little bit. Like, there was the one where he was trying to roll the tire, and he's like, I'm not doing this. I'm just going to take a fucking 15-minute break here.
Yeah.
And just regain some energy. I did actually think that was a terrible move.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have tried to complete.
Doubling down on any run is basically just a nine.
Is murder, but
Yeah.
you're going to have to do it at some point if you only do one. Like, that's what Hunter was doing. He'd do a lap, and then he'd do a station, then he'd do a lap, and then he'd do a station. And it fucked him because he got to the point where Kara was doing the one thing. Like, he should have been keeping better tabs on it, obviously.
Yeah.
And having that communication, like Ninja, who is it? Ninja wanted to know what everyone was doing, or she wouldn't tell what everyone was doing. I forgot what happened there. But like, getting that information is super critical, as we saw. It didn't really fuck Hunter because he's way behind anyway.
Yeah.
But it cost him like 30 minutes, if nothing else. So I think like doing 2 at a time is key at some point, or even just trying to knock out whatever. Like, if you're super gassed, like even doing 2 laps.
Like Ninja had it right.
Even doing 2 laps to start, when you had energy, if you weren't, like, Theo could have won by even more, I think.
Yeah.
If he had just done 2 laps to start.
Honestly, Theo he left some minutes out there. Like he timed out on at least 2, maybe 3.
Wes timed out on 4 of them. I think.
Yeah, like,
So Wes did better at the running part than Theo did.
which is kind of crazy when you think about it.
Wes was just gaming it.
Yeah,
But he also looked when
he must have hopped into a medic vehicle
They
or
put him in the
something
car.
at some point. He's just like, wheel me around. There's nobody around. Okay, let's go.
So I guess like trying to bang out as many of the, and especially after you see people do them, like if you're Ninja and you come in 4th, you have to do your 1, but you see like West times out on the Sudoku thing, which no one ended
Doesn't
up.
seem like anybody did it
No
properly.
one got it. They all timed out on it. Be like, okay, I'll just double up on that right now, take my time out, and I'll just gain some energy for the next sort of run through. But like knocking out as many stations as possible and being like, oh, all I have to do now is finish this lap, is probably the move. I know that didn't translate because no one actually did that. But I think Theo could have went like 2 laps, done 3 stations, done 2 laps, or done a lap, done a station, done a lap, done a station. He probably would have finished faster.
Yeah, because it was pretty close when it came down to it. Like he was like 5:28 or something like that, and then like West was like 10 minutes behind him, and
Turbo
then
was
Turbo's
like
like
15
another
minutes.
10-15 minutes behind West.
No, I think Turbo's closer than that.
Yeah,
I don't think. I think he's
like it's wide open.
He's less
still.
than half an hour behind Turbo.
It's wide open still, and that should have been for Theo, where he really he should have gained more time on the field than he did.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But it was a very impressive.
Because when they started out on the run, like he was just off. He was already like 100 meters ahead of everybody when in the first like 20 seconds.
Well, he kind of made the thing too, just like, hey, I'm an Olympic runner. Wes is gonna be out here like giving it his all to try to be out ahead. I'm just gonna like outpace him and make him keep up with me. I thought that was a smart strategy.
As an Olympic runner,
Are you talking from personal experience?
no. I just mean that like his recovery and stuff should be better. Than some of these other, like they are hurting units out there right now. Like I can kind of relate 6 years of tree planting, just under 1 million trees planted, no big deal. And just like that first week of planting is so devastating to the body.
Well, I think it goes one of 2 ways that like it's advantaged Theo in this sense. Is one, his body is more conditioned to recover from like extreme, and probably not this extreme. He's probably never trained something like this before, and especially in that heat, in that sort of distance, being like a 400-meter runner. But knowing how to recover too, I think is an essential part of this.
Yeah.
Because as we saw with Kara, she doesn't know how to recover.
Oh my God.
That has to be like the stupidest thing.
Okay.
I get it if you're terrified of it, and that sucks. But you almost have to bite the bullet and fucking do it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be fucked.
The one thing that this could be a saving grace to her.
All right, I want to hear this.
And this is not intentional. I don't think this is intentional. But like this would be a savvy move. They already knew that there's going to be a vote. There's going to be a tribunal. If you're those other 3 guys, who am I bringing along for the rest of the final? The person who didn't take the IV. And is because like I realize how much the IV improved me.
Sure, I guess the only
Like if
counter
that
to
was
that
a
is-
savvy move,
No, but
that would be amazing.
but it's not though, because whoever they vote in, that's not, because it's not going to be Kara.
They're gonna call out.
It has to
Kara.
be. They're gonna. Yeah, the person will call out Kara because she's the weakest one right now.
Yeah.
That would be the move, and it has to be Ninja they vote in. She's the closest to them. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
that's the only sensible thing to do. Like Hunter's too far back to actually catch up. I think. Is he going to really beat Theo by an hour and 40 minutes? No.
No, unless it's just like a full blown eating challenge and that's it.
Yeah, and like then Turbo catches. Like you, not only do you have to like, does Hunter have to pass Theo to win? He has to pass everyone else
Wes
on the
and
table
Turbo.
too, and Ninja and
Yeah.
Kara. Kara is like as far back as Hunter is anyway. Like Ninja's within the realm of being like competitive in terms of time here. Like she could still win. So just get rid of her, and now it's a 3-man race, and everyone's guaranteed money basically.
Yeah, because like Wes has Hunter's back. He's not gonna vote Wes.
But why would you even vote in Hunter? You know he can't win.
What I'm saying is that like just how it all plays out. Like Ninja's getting voted in,
And
here.
Turbo's voting
Turbo
for him.
has the vendetta against her basically.
That's gonna be a
and-
scary rivals team, by the way.
And Theo and Kara were partners. I wouldn't imagine he's gonna vote in Kara. It all kind of just falls down to Ninja getting
Yeah,
voted in.
and just with taking any like alliances or anything out of that, like she's the closest to them. And she's the closest to them by a lot. And the other two are way back. Just keep the other two who are way back and hope she gets knocked out.
Yep,
That has to be the move.
that is the move.
Would you vote in Kara and Maria if you were a Ninja, or would you vote in Hunter?
I would like to have a little look-see to see what the challenge is. Because think about it. They've set up all these things,
But it's
out
not
there.
going to be Powerball.
They've
It's not
got
going to be like
It's
running.
going to be
through
like puzzle.
yeah, it's going to be a puzzle.
So you maybe call out Hunter.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It'll probably be a puzzle. They would have had to bring this thing out into the middle of the desert. They're not gonna have. You never know with them, but like they could have some sort of big contraption. But I would imagine it's probably gonna be some. We've seen this before when they have like these little challenges in the final. Like it's always some like bullshit puzzle.
Remember
Something
when
small.
Bananas beat CT?
Bananas versus CT. That's the exact one I was thinking.
It was like a 3-tiered puzzle.
Some simple bullshit puzzle that it's just like, well, this is a quick little challenge that we can throw into the mix, and we can throw it in a backpack or whatever and carry it out there.
Do you think that they're going to have to spend the night in that car?
Oh, the what do they call
I forgot
it?
what it was called.
What was it?
Deathmobile or something?
Yeah, well, I forget what it's called.
I think that's where they have to sleep.
That doesn't seem that
Like,
bad.
are they getting to eat during this? Like, do they have to do that thing like on an empty stomach?
Honestly, that vehicle is very similar to a form of transportation I used to take in tree planting.
Yeah, it looks like it's more aesthetically horrible than
Yeah.
actually horrible to
It's
be in.
literally like the same type of style of vehicle. We called it the crummy. And I used to love being in it because I could smoke cigs. I could smoke cigs because you were separated from the driver. So it's like all of the smokers were just like, listen, we're taking the crummy to work today. If any of you
Okay.
non-smokers don't want anybody smoking around you, it's just like, just don't sit in the crummy. So it's like, it
were
was-
there windows in the crummy?
Yes.
Okay, so there's no windows in this one. So
Yeah.
you're going to be like hotboxing with cig smoke.
Yeah.
I did like that. That was TJ's line to Maddie. Just like, why don't you stop smoking cigarettes and you're going to be fine. I don't think that was the cause of her demise.
He also wasn't on screen saying that in that moment. So that was something.
Oh, you think that's an ADR line too?
That's an ADR line for sure. Like he wasn't actually, and she's like, yeah, I know. She could have been saying, yeah, I know about like
Whatever.
anything.
Like,
So I think that was definitely an ad, or he was saying it in the moment. We know TJ is just like they had to do a retake of his audio because he was.
It does feel
Because
like
he
there's
messed it
been
up.
a lot less TJ green screen this year. Like
Yeah.
it's been really, they've
He's
got to
been
the point.
nailing his takes.
It's that, or they've got to the point where he's really good at it. But you never see him like have a soliloquy. It's
No.
never TJ explaining the rules for 2.5 minutes. It's like cut up to his face. Then it's a clear like dub of them showing like a wide, like they love doing a TJ wide shot where
Yeah.
you can't see his mouth or anything like that. And
Exactly.
they just keep everything rolling. Then you cut everything down. So I like that. I think it's down to 3. I don't think that Kara,
No, it's the top 3 guys.
Kara, Ninja, or Hunter, they have no chance. They're too far back. Except for Ninja, but I think she's going to go.
I agree.
And I'm not going to bet against anyone. I still think Turbo wins.
I still think he wins too.
Although we do see in the like preview to the next episode,
He complete collapses.
but he completely collapsed in this one. So Wes brought it up, but I guess it was foreshadowing for later on that he did that final in the original Rivals with Kenny, where he carried Kenny to the finals. Like Kenny was a fucking disaster on that season. And then in the final, he got like a hamstring cramp and you could see it. Like it was pulsing out of his hamstring. It was like a big knot. He's like, I can't walk. And then Kenny carried him like up the mountain. They came in second. And they probably should have won that one because it was almost like this one, where if you had actually gotten like the real time, like I don't even know if Theo gets the full time that he's ahead in. He might just get like a designated head start. Do we know that?
No idea.
Like, it might be like, yeah, you're up by 5, you got a 5-minute head start. And like everyone's done that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's how it's going to go, though. Like, I think if you're an hour and a half back, you're an hour and a half back. It's like combined times.
I think based on the fact that there was...
Oh, anyway, I want to finish my point on that.
Sure.
So Wes said, like, yeah, if you flame out one of these finals, people make fun of you for 10 years. And they did, which I still feel bad about with Wes because he was the only reason that they were there. Kenny did fuck all, carried him up a mountain when Wes legit couldn't walk. But anyway, same thing happens to Turbo. Turbo starts crying and like, we will do this. I will not listen to my leg and just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the guy's an absolute animal.
Yeah. Like
So he's going to win.
He's made for this. He's made for this challenge.
Does Wes have a chance? He clearly does, but like...
Of course, all three of those guys have a chance at this point.
I really hope Wes wins.
I don't know how
I don't think he's
honestly,
gonna win.
like, it's like a pick 'em, like, across the board at this point.
Everyone's like plus 110.
Yeah.
Theo would have to be the favorite.
He would have...
think.
But the thing is, I do think that, like, he left all of the minutes. He left all of the minutes. He should have gained way more on the field in this. This was tailor-made for him to succeed. He's even a spin instructor.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
You know what I mean? Like, everything was coming up Theo in that, and he really didn't gain that much traction, like that much time on people. If that's only half of it, those other guys can super easily make up that extra little bit.
What do you think that we see in besides like kayaking or whatever it is? So there's like a water element to the second part, which I would say is advantage Wes, to tell you the truth.
Probably.
Like if you have to swim at any point, like Wes,
Who knows with Turbo?
Yeah,
though,
Turbo's
like,
probably and like a
You-
world-class swimmer like Jason Statham was.
Or he's on like the Turkish rowing team or something.
Yeah,
like
just
that.
something crazy.
Just because he's just a
Yeah.
superior athlete to everyone.
He is a water marine assassin in the Turkish army or something just insane like that. Theo was not the best swimmer, as we saw in the swimming challenges.
No.
And if it comes down to a bunch of puzzles, I still think like if it's just pure puzzles, Turbo's probably in the best spot of those three guys.
Yeah.
Did you like the interstitial challenges, like the stuff you had to go? I thought it was kind of neat.
There were a couple of them that were okay.
No one could do the Sudoku looked kind of hard.
I'm terrible at that stuff. Like, I would definitely time out on Sudoku. I can't do a Sudoku from the newspaper, from anything. I'm awful at them. So,
Well, this one was tough because it looked like it was 3 colors like together. So not only did you have like a normal Sudoku puzzle, you also only had like so many elements that you could work with and turn them a certain way. So that looked tough.
oh, I was gonna say, in that little teaser at the end, the way that they cut it from an editor's standpoint, it was very negative Turbo. They were making it seem like Turbo, like he drops everything.
It does,
Everything leads me to believe that is a
Sure.
curveball to make you think that Turbo's going home.
I would tend to agree, but if you look at the very last shot of the next episode on, it's someone collapsing over the finish line going like this, and it's very clearly Turbo.
Mm-hmm.
And why is he celebrating if he doesn't win? He is there to win. He's not so I think that Turbo at least wins the second part of the elimination.
Yeah.
Whether it's enough to beat Theo or Wes can somehow sandwich in between. Someone did tweet at me, I guess it's a spoiler, but it's not like who won, that the final is decided by like less than a minute or something like that. So that leads me to believe like Theo falls way back.
Theo falls back and Turbo
comes
makes up that
out.
extra time.
So I think it's between those two, if I had to guess. Just only because that could be complete fake news. I have no idea.
Sure.
I didn't want to verify because I didn't want to see who won.
Yeah.
But that would lead me to believe that Theo has a real rough go of it in the second leg of this. And like
We'll
Turbo
see.
can't walk right now.
No, but Theo can hardly even.
Theo can't put on.
They were all really struggling getting up on that tribunal.
They were.
stage.
Wes seems to be in the best shape. I mean, Theo like physically seems like he's in the best shape right now. But he did make mention at one point he has blisters all over his feet. That if like you can power through, as someone who has experienced blisters in the past, I'm sure you have. I'm sure everyone out there has. You can power through it for a bit. The next day with blisters tends to be more problematic than experience the blisters the first time. That's how the blisters get so bad, because you push through it.
Yeah.
That if it is more running and like he can't like walk, that's tough.
I mean, I would get them every single year planting trees. I would just power through.
Sure, but are you as productive as you would be without them? Because I mean,
Of course not.
Theo,
No.
in optimal conditions, was able to burn everyone.
All of them have blisters right now, though. After doing that,
I feel like Turbo doesn't get blisters.
no.
I did like his preparation for the eating
Well,
challenge.
eventually, if you do it enough, obviously you don't get blisters. Your feet just turn into full blown calluses.
Maybe that's it. Maybe he walked around for like 3 months with the shoes on.
Dude, there's videos of him like running in the forest and stuff like that. So like this could have been part of his game plan.
Do you
The
think
guy was eating plates of food and then running to see if he could run while he had
That's what I
eaten a
wanted to talk
lot.
about. Do you think
next level preparation?
Do you think that was foreshadowing for the second leg of this final, where there's going to be some sort of eating competition and Turbo just dummies everybody and then is able to go run?
I bet you Hunter makes up some time during that as well.
Yeah, but he can't run afterwards.
No,
he
but
can just eat it.
But he can definitely eat it. And I think that's where like Theo. I'm completely judging. I know nothing about how he eats and how like what's his, how good he is at eating. But like he just got that. A tall, skinny guy is just like I'm not seeing somebody who can just crush food.
I don't know about that. Sometimes the tall skinnies can just bank food because they have a bigger stomach because they're so tall, and just their metabolism hasn't kicked in yet. So maybe they just eat a ton, and you just never know.
We'll see.
I know a lot of very tall eaters, and they can just pound it away. And then when they turn like 32, they gain like 400 pounds because all of a sudden it's just not burning off anymore.
Of course.
Then they have to amend their diets and start eating salads, and they're hungry all the time.
But yeah.
But Turbo looks like he has the frame to eat.
Of course.
Like, it's not like Turbo's ripped, but he's not like
Chuck Norris in his prime.
Yeah, he's not like 2% body fat ripped though. He's like 8% body fat ripped. Like guy eats and works out.
Yeah.
And is ripped because of that. Theo just kind of looks like he's just a super athlete, and that, like he would always be ripped until the point where he's not anymore. Wes looks like he's actively trying to be like he's on like a diet to be ripped.
Yeah.
Where Turbo does not look like that way. Turbo eats whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Like Michael Phelps used
But
to.
he probably eats healthy because that's just the way he lives.
Yeah, but like Wes is probably doing like what I'm doing, like intermittent fasting, really trying to cut down to look real sharp on camera, and doing a much better job of it than I am, for example. But I don't know. Like Turbo just looks like, yeah, give me 8 bowls of pasta, I'm good, and I'll work it off later. So.
He's an animal.
So I still think Turbo wins, but it's Turbo and Theo, and I'd have Wes as a third.
Sure.
And I have that bet with Rob too. I have Theo over Wes. That's our one bet that we have.
Yeah, it's still dicey.
It's only 5 minutes, I think, between them.
Yeah.
Which really goes to show either how difficult some of those things were or how fast Wes did everything.
Which I do think Theo is going to have an advantage just in recovering. I think Wes had pushed himself to a level. Well, Theo did not even come close to pushing himself to the level that Wes probably did. Like Wes passed out at the end of it, like full blown collapsed.
Yeah, and they asked me,
and they were like, "Do you want a medic?" And he was just like, "No, keep the medic away from me." He knew. You once you get those medics on,
Ninja got
because he was
lucky.
already done, and like he could have had a medic. But if that medic comes in and says that like you're way too dehydrated, we're worried about your health, they're taking him out.
I wonder if that would be the thing, that after you were done, would you get some leeway in order to be able to like rehydrate yourself, because you're not immediately going to do something else. Like with Georgia, like, oh, you have 98% of this challenge left, like you can't go on.
Yeah.
But with Ninja, like she fell, I guess, in the good parameters, and she basically like blacked out and fell out too, and she was still fine.
Yeah. Can't beat the heat, man.
Can't beat the heat. I think Kara said it on Instagram, like they were eating like bananas or something like that. I would just be loading up on all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Get as much potassium in me as possible.
Get as much everything, or all fruits. Fruits is really the key.
Fruits and water.
Yeah.
Just stay hydrated and get those like good sugars in you.
Yeah.
To keep going. Were there any one of the 5 little mini eliminations that you liked more? I like the tire roll.
Tire roll looks like something that would be fun in your backyard, to be
Yeah,
perfectly
it
honest.
could be just, you have a party.
Go
That's
to a
game.
cottage, have people just firing a tire.
What do they call the beanbag game? We always play
cornhole.
Cornhole. We always play ring toss. You guys
Yeah.
play that? Like the box, and there's like the little tube in the middle. You have like washer rings, but they're a bit thicker. Just fucking huck them.
Okay.
I could do the tire. Tire seems pretty good.
Yeah.
I
And
liked-
there was the like almost like horseshoes, but on a vertical plane.
That looked hard.
Yeah, that didn't look.
And
easy.
who was it? It was just god awful.
Kara.
It missed it by like 8 feet. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
The one where you had to push, like, obviously the Sudoku was the hardest because everyone timed out. But the one where you had to push the ball up it, that looked hard.
That seems like that's one of the ones that was just like mentally draining. Because just like you do
You
it,
fail.
and then within 10 minutes of continuing to do it, you're just like, like that's one of those things that's just like, you know exactly what you need to do. And it just, it really tests you mentally because it's like, eventually you're just like, screw this. I don't even want to do this anymore.
Well, the thing I couldn't understand is we saw Theo do it, we saw Kara do it, where they had the pole on top of the ball and we're trying to roll it up. Like, how is that ever going to work?
I think for the first few feet, but yeah, it's a terrible
No,
strategy.
eventually your pole runs out.
Yeah, everyone started doing it that way. I don't know why.
I
I
like-
guess the move is to choke up as much as possible
do the ninja
just
and
go
try to, like, bank
and
it
go
in.
like this. I think.
Yeah, but Ninja had it. Like, when she was close, she was like, fuck it, bank.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah, of course. Once you get to the end, but I'm saying at the beginning, you literally line it up and then just go hand, and you're just forcing. I guess people can't see my. Oh, I guess people can see.
People
my
can see
hands. Yeah.
I'd be like,
I guess that's.
I'd be trying to get it to like a quarter of the way up and like trying to like ram it up like a pinball machine just to see if it worked. I don't know if anyone tried it.
Yeah, it looked like Hunter kind of did. Like he really rammed it from a distance, and he, like that was the only good thing Hunter did in this entire thing.
How did he not get that like vertical puzzle, which everyone else finished in like 2 minutes? Like that didn't even look hard. Like it was very clear. Like, oh, it's a ring. Yeah, this one goes
And
here.
you had walked by and seen other people completed it already. Like you've probably seen it, what it's supposed to look like. You've seen it multiple times. Like it shouldn't be that hard. I'm no puzzle master, but like
Yeah,
I think
you
I would
could
be
kind
able
of
to
like
figure
sketch.
that
You could
one
kind
out.
of sketch it out on the ground before you went to go pick it up. That's how I felt about the Sudoku too. I think people really fell into a trap of they brought the pieces up to the platform and then tried to do it without ever developing a strategy of, hey, how is this going to work to begin with? And then you just tire yourself out the entire time moving this fucking block around.
I generally have no idea what the game plan was for that though.
It's trial and error to start because there's no starting point.
Yeah.
But like you have to start something out. But like if you're just looking at it, like standing overhead, why would you start moving all the pieces around when you don't have to?
It's true.
When you can plan it out, like, okay, this one goes here, this one goes here. Like solve it before you go up and just put it into place.
Yep.
Cam did that a few years, 2 seasons ago, when she was partnered with Ashley. They figured out the math problem before they went to the thing, and they were like way behind, but they had it right.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyle and Brad were like, duh. Can't figure it out. Just trying to like jam stuff in.
Of course.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
That's how these
So a
things
bit
go.
of planning might go into it. Maybe that was the way that you actually had to approach it. Anyway, I'm excited for the final.
Yeah.
I doubt it'll be as good as this one.
We'll see.
Unless we have a
I mean,
very
there
close
was
final.
we had 2 people dropping out, like almost 3. Like it was
Who was the third?
Ninja.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Like she was on death's door. Like that was close. That's about as close as you get. That just helps. I guess she just must be in like peak physical shape. Like most people probably would have just been dusted by that point.
True. She did mention that like she doesn't have endurance whatsoever. Like she has like muscle endurance for like American Ninja Warrior stuff, but like running 15 miles is like not in her
Hey,
repertoire.
she did fine.
She did do fine.
Yeah.
She was good at she was probably the best
At the puzzles.
At the puzzles.
Yeah.
But she was one of the ones that did 3 in a row.
Did she do 3 in a row to
Yeah,
start?
at one point. No, not to start. Like because she was
She
like
did-
a lap down. She was like
Yeah.
the 4th person in, and then she got way behind because she passed out. And I think she like doubled up on a lap, and then did like 3 in a row, did another lap, and finished. I think that's how it went. But she did do 3 in a row at one point. She's like, "Well, no one's here. I might as well knock these out."
It's smart.
Would you walk the bike up hills? Because that seemed to be a smart move too.
Probably.
Ride the bike down the hills, walk the bike up the hills instead of just gassing yourself. Theo looked like he was able to do it in Wes. That was
Yeah,
about it.
and the path looked a little like that does not look like easy biking.
No.
Like the soft sand trying to roll through there, like that's challenging, especially when you just got off running probably couple miles, 2-3 miles type of thing.
Yeah, well, I think it was 3 miles run, 3 miles bike,
And then
do your puzzles.
checkpoint and then
So you had to run 12 miles, and I ran 5 miles before I came in to the office today, and that took me 40 minutes. And I was just having.
you're not in a desert.
I'm not in a
running
desert. It's not
sand.
hot, and I'm on a treadmill when I'm running it.
Yeah, watching like
And-
watching golf.
Yeah, I'm just I'm on my phone, like I'm doing shit when I'm running. But
With
I'm not.
water available.
I'm also
and-
not running it like as fast as I can, but I'm like
course.
pacing myself so
Yeah.
I can run. So let's just say like that would be fast for this, which I'm sure Theo runs it way faster than that, and so does Wes. But if we start extrapolating that out, that's me running at 7.5 on the treadmill. It's 8-minute miles, and they're probably running 15-minute miles in that.
Mhm.
Like just the time it would take out in that sun to run 12 miles would be fucking forever. That's what happened to Maddie, I think.
Yeah.
Like she was just going so slowly that she got just so zapped by the sun. Everyone was able to just go a little bit faster than she was. Or she burnt herself out by trying to keep up.
And, maybe they'll learn. I imagine a bunch of the people the night before, I don't know if they were drinking. I don't know what they were doing. They probably did get rest and stuff. But like if you know you're going into something like that, like you're hammering water the night before.
Or doing eating challenges.
Or you're doing eating challenges like him. But like you should be the night before any of that type of thing, just like hammering as much water, more water than you can even take, just because you know you're gonna run out of it.
And I think the turbo will be the one who adapts the best. Like, and knowing what was in store for day one, I think he'll have a better game plan day two, I would imagine, out of all of them. I don't know if it's even possible to have a better game plan. I would assume he does.
Yeah. It's Turbo. Turbo's still the favorite in my eyes.
Yeah. He's probably around even money with Theo, though.
Maybe.
He's half an hour back.
Theo left minutes on the track, bro. He left minutes on the track. That's my take.
We'll see if that comes back to get him. Paul Shaughnessy. Follow him on Twitter at Paul Shaughnessy and watch the MMA Dogger Pass podcast. What's the fight this week?
Main event is Rafael Dos Anjos versus Kevin Lee.
I don't believe it's Dos Anjos. I believe it's Dos Anjos, isn't it? J pronounced with an H.
No.
Portuguese in Spanish. Isn't that the J pronounced as an H?
I think that's only Spanish.
Is it? Because you have like a junta. It's not a junta.
I believe he even refers to himself as Rafael Dos Anjos.
Okay. Maybe in Portuguese.
That is the main
it's
event
different.
at 170 pounds. Both guys used to fight at 155, or RDA, we'll call him. He was the former champion at 155 pounds. Kevin Lee, kind of like a
Didn't Kevin Lee like fuck everyone like a year ago? Like he was supposed to win. I want to say like UFC Kansas City or something. He was like,
And it wasn't even that long ago. Yeah, we actually, he lost to Ally Quinta recently. And he missed weight and everything like that. So he's moving up to 170. Take on RDA. It's a tough card, honestly, top to bottom.
Well, it's only like a lot of favorites against a lot of losers.
Massive
Isn't it?
chalk favorites, and it's just like, sure, you can parlay these 4 big time chalk favorites. They're all like minus 600, 700, and you get 4 of them together, and it's like an even money bet. And it's just like,
But then you still have to.
there's just like all of the value is gone. You're like, of course, like there's probably a 50-50 chance that one of these guys shits in the apple pie, as we like to say on our show.
All right. Paul Shaughnessy at Paul Shag on Twitter. You can follow me at the PME, Twitter, Facebook, the Instagrams. Go check that if you want to be in a draw for 20 DK bucks. Smash the like button for the episode. Leave your DraftKings handle in the comment section. Let me know which 2 contestants of the 3 you think will go head to head in the elimination at the beginning of episode 16 of Challenge War of the Worlds. We're almost at the finish line. 1 week left for fantasy scoring, so I hope you're still in the race. I guess technically I am, but I don't think that I can win, which is a bummer. But either way, I hope you are too. I'm Pat Mayo. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Pat Mayo Experience! Experience!